Ping likes to do it. No formal intro.
We just roll.
How are you drinking out of a camera lens?
Listen, it's a trick. We got a series of cups, and everyone has to choose when they come in.
We're going Team Germany, it appears.
That looks like we're doing it. Yep, that's a Bavarian,
This could be Norwegian, a little
mug.
Viking-looking.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking
Team
some, this is a bottle I got in Italy.
Limoncello, right?
Of limoncello. This is in honor of Tony Cairoli, who was racing this weekend, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
On that Ducati.
He still rides really well, though.
Yeah, there's some of those guys, they say they're gonna quit, but they really just cannot really step away. It's like,
well,
I'm not a true professional, but I'm still going to ride every other day.
Yeah, but he's still top 10. When he comes over and does a national or GP, he's still running in the top 10.
Yeah, but as much as he's riding and, testing the bike and all that stuff for Ducati, I mean, he's getting plenty of seat time. And, I mean, I felt like even with my injury and I retired for all those years, I felt like probably when I was 2006 or so, would have been
2000
36.
when you got hurt, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would have been 36 or so, probably around age 40. I felt like I was still pretty good on the bike, even though I wasn't, riding at the level that he is, working for the team and all that. But if you stay with it, you can stay going pretty strong. I mean, look how strong Mike Brown has been, and I mean, he's a year younger than me, right? I mean,
it's all about
his plan was to ride pro motocross this year, and he's 53.
Brownie's
53. Yeah, that was going to be his
10
plan.
years older than me.
Was he trying to keep his number, or what was he trying to
No,
do?
he's not trying to keep his number. But he was at a pace where he would do a top 20 in a national, and he's 53. So the point is, Cairoli just turned 40.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Yeah,
40. Like, if you stay and you don't, injury or time off, I mean, he's still at a really high level. And I mean, obviously with the Italian team, it's like they look at the guys that they have. He's certainly he's one of the best ever. He's got full factory support from Ducati, and he wants to do it. So yeah, Italy could be strong.
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I don't know that they're in contention to win. It's Adamo, who's great, Cairoli, and Bonacorsi, who I don't really know, but
he's had some good rides this year.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they're three solid guys, but like you said, they don't have any of the wow factor or any standout in there. But Fro's done the nations many a time, and I've been there a few times as well. On paper, you can have the dream team, but it doesn't always go according to plan, especially back when they used to have like 125 and 500s. Someone's getting a good gate pick and someone's getting fucked.
Yeah.
And the guy who gets the shitty gate pick or the second option who's way out is more likely to be in a first turn pileup. Everyone's all jonesed and ready to go representing their country. And things just seem to happen sometimes at the nations. We've seen some wild things go down.
Yeah, I mean, and so in that case, right, so let's say that it's a 125 500 moto. So the 125 guy is not going to get the start. So the first gate pick is going to go to the guy on the 500.
Yeah.
That's all a much more level playing field, right? Like the 250 versus the 450, like when Villopoto had so many great rides. Like that was a much easier ride to have.
US decided, because of there's a little more fairness with 250, 450, give Villopoto pole
better
position,
starting spot.
and then RC got 21st because there's 20 countries that qualify. So if you qualify first, you get 1 and 21. If you qualify 10th, you're 10 and 30. Now your 30th place guy is in no man's land. So qualifying is important, but again, it comes down to it is really hard to get both your guys to get killer starts. I mean, that is one of the hardest things.
For sure, you're not gonna you're gonna have a bad start. And that's something I like about.
And then
the
how
event.
you manage it, and then
there's a lot of strategy, that goes into it. And in '94, when we rode Schwanenstadt, Austria, there was only a 20-man gate, so we were second row, and I was on the 125.
Schwanenstadt
so
was
I had
93.
93, sorry. 93, yeah.
Look at the brain on Brad over here.
Yeah, so it was a 20-man gate, so you had to line it behind your riders. So I had McGrath in one moto, and then Kudrowski on the KX500 in the next moto.
Nothing better than getting over the gate, just peeling tear-offs out of the start gate.
How was Kudrowski's 500 roost into your face?
I mean, I think I hit him. I think he didn't get off the gate, like he wasn't that quick, and I ran in the back of him, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, you're just on the 125 back in those days. like there's no chance that you're going to start up front.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be a great start might have been a 15th or a 20th or something, right? And it's just a total battle, like, because there was such a horsepower difference in some of these tracks that were super fast and all this. On the 125, you just got hammered, and you just kept your head down all the way to the checkers, just however many guys you could pass.
Yeah.
And then you came in, and you're like, was I the first 125?
Yeah, where did I
or
end?
not? Like you don't know. Right.
Do they know? Like, are you getting it on the pit board, or are they kind of like, I'm not sure? It's got to be hard because everything.
Dude, I'm talking 32
Yeah.
years ago. when
that was before live timing was.
I remembered how to get here today.
You're lucky you can still get an erection. Like, we're just happy that everything still works on all of this. Do you know what I mean?
He must have been eavesdropping a little bit earlier.
Hey, I do want to ask you guys something. Because we had Rhino in yesterday doing some different stuff, and we were talking about
unlocking the hips.
Fully unlocked. But he said he was really adamant. You know, Rhino gets passionate about things. I don't know if
I didn't notice his passion before.
He goes, why are we throwing away a moto? He goes, there's no other motorsport or sport where, you know, in the NBA, can you just throw away a quarter if you didn't play well? Like, all the motos should count.
That's
and
a Rhinoism right there.
Totally. It's totally right. But I wanted to see what you guys thought of that. You've won your class.
In my time,
part of winning teams.
They shifted. It was like a shell game every year.
Yeah.
Because we had been on such a long win streak. It was like, what do we got to do so that Team USA doesn't win this thing? I feel like we counted 4 one year maybe, or all 6. Like, yeah.
You guys have tried it. They've tried everything.
They've moved the goalposts for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
which I get it.
I guess it's the same rules for everyone, but it does take a little bit away because you got a throwaway moto. If a guy goes down and goes, well, this could just be our throwaway moto, it changes things. But if the difference between 36th and 32nd could be our team on the podium or not, it makes everyone give everything.
I think the
whole
throwaway
time.
moto, though, is good because it keeps things tighter normally.
Yeah.
Normally. Like,
I can see
take
that,
for instance.
That is true.
But do you like that? I mean,
yeah. I'm fine with that. I think it's part of the the history of the event, and I do like that aspect that something goes bad, a guy has a bike break, or there's some sort of first turn crash or whatever, you can still be in it. So are you throwing away a 40th, or like on our day, shit, man, if you got a 5th in your class and you were 5th or 8th, 9th on the track, right, depending on how they scored it, because sometimes they would score you could be 5th on the track but be 1st in the 125 class, right? And then they like move that around. No, now you're 5th, that's a 5 instead of a 1, and then the next year, oh no, that's a 1st. Right? And so and I feel like it's standardized a little bit now. I don't feel like there's been a lot of changes there.
And I understand why they did it. I mean, after 13 years, we won straight, right?
Yeah.
13 in a row. Yeah.
It's like,
let's relive that year. Let's relive 94 again.
You were on
that was fun.
you were the guy going
probably
for 14.
Of any race that I ever had in my life, I took that the hardest.
Which one was that?
Defeat.
Switzerland, Roggenburg.
Oh, where Albie hit the deer.
Yeah.
Where Albie hit the deer, yeah. Paul Malin crushed it on the 125, and I was second both motos on the 125, and I felt like I let the whole team down.
And that was the last time the UK won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
94.
It was,
Hey, your race bike was good that year, huh? That YZ 125.
Yeah, but at Roggenburg, we were just talking about it before we turned the cameras on. Grant raced that race where on your 125 KTM where literally there were you go from one hillside to another, and it's as fast as the bike will go. You're like you're literally hit top speed, like you're revved out in 5th gear, and that's as fast as the bike will go. My bike was set up for U.S. tracks. Malin rode a Rinaldi 125 that year. It might have been Bobby Moore's bike or whatever, and it physically had more top speed. I mean, Malin rode amazing.
And a track like that was literally a horsepower track, especially for 125.
And Malin just rode awesome, and I just was like, oh.
Who was with him? Who were the other riders?
Kurt Nickel?
Dobb?
No, it was Nickel and Rob Herring.
Yeah.
And Nickel, I'll go ahead and get this out because it's a Motocross of Nations edition. Nichols was literally, Kurt was my kryptonite when it came to that race.
Yeah, because even in '97 in Belgium,
He beat me the first moto, and I was so
you
pissed.
two were like stuck together like
and
bubblegum.
every now and then we'll joke about it, and he's like,
I got your number, bro.
Well, then even what was it? Was it 95 when Rhino collected Kurt going up the hill? Kurt got cross-roaded.
Yeah, Kurt. I don't know.
I just watched a clip of that. I think I just reposted it. Somebody, I forget who posted the Motor World coverage or something from it, and it's like, I like to relive that one too. and so it's
you
interesting.
won that one, right? That was your first one.
Yeah. So Pit Buyer was like, nobody's going to touch him that day, and then he crashed his brains out second moto, luckily. So I'm like, there's so much pressure because you're not just riding for yourself, you're riding for a team, and that's why the Motocross of Nations, it differs. So you have to up your game because you're riding for your teammates, you're riding for USA, like it becomes a thing, like that national pride. And so you want to go out and put in your best performance, but you also know, like that day, 95 we're talking about, Slovakia, Pit Buyer was riding for Germany. They weren't going to win the race. Pitt was just fast as shit. I mean, there were certain days where that guy was
and
just
certain
like
tracks,
and he was
liked
mental.
That kind of
he
track.
was so fast, right? Okay, well, I don't need to go, DevCon 9 to try to beat this guy. So second in the first moto, and then second race for the 250s, which would have been the final race. No,
yeah,
he crashed, out. And that's the interesting thing. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Since the last SMX race with the Deegan and Shimoda antics and all that. When I was leading, so put this into perspective. So I'm leading the final moto of the Motocross of Nations. We got Smets riding for Belgium, and that's who we were battling. So Rhino's there. I'm seeing where he's at. So I'm leading the race, but I'm also like conscious of everything that's happening around me. Where's Rhino at?
Oh, didn't you try back the pack up or
slowed
something?
down.
Yeah, I just slowed down. I wasn't taking Smets out. He thought that's what I was going to try to do, which was great because I just wanted him to slow down. So we're first and second in the Motocross of Nations, literally riding like sections like slow. Think about what that is. Right, I'm in the lead of the race, and I'm slowing down, putting around, and he's behind me, going, I ain't passing him. I'm not getting next to him, because Rhino was there. He crashed, whatever. So I just kept trying to slow the race down because Rhino had to pass Smets for us to win. So I'm slowing down, and Smets is slowing down. And you're like, we're in the race, and we're like,
it had to be weird, dude, right? Like,
it was
you're
surreal.
rolling the track going, I'm doing what I got to do.
But we're leading the race. Like there's probably not going to be a race this weekend where the leader isn't just balls to the walls trying to win it.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I look back on that situation and I'm
was that an audible, or did you guys have this conversation before the moto?
I don't know if that was something that we actually discussed, or during the race I'm like, hey, I'm just going to kind of slow up and try to bunch everybody up. I wasn't going to try to take out Smets on the world stage, even though he thought that that's what I was doing. But it's like, let's just slow everything down and allow Rhino to catch back up.
It almost worked out.
Dude, it almost
because Rhino was coming.
Nickel, once again, he didn't even take me down.
He's still
and in turn, he's still ruined. Oh, kryptonite, I tell you.
I love it. Kurt's got you.
But that's the thing with the nations. Things happen. And, something else I was thinking about is, when you race like in America, right? You race the Americans. So when you go to the nations, most of the time, these are guys you aren't familiar being around. And even with teams that do qualify, there might be an Italian rider that isn't normally a front runner in GPs that you've never been around. So there's that other element of just being around people you're unfamiliar with. Maybe it's a Japanese rider, South African rider that's growing up in South Africa. Things are a little more unpredictable. You almost get used to how people are. Like, how it is. You knew how Jeremy would race you and vice versa. How Rhino would, or LaRocco would, not be afraid of, bonsai you. Just you kind of know
these
these
get up and kick LaRocco in the head. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, but then and Grant's completely right. The other element is now you're on the team with guys that you race against. I mean, in '92, we still had two pro motocross races after the nations. The way that the schedule worked out.
Really?
So LaRocco and I were in the 125 battle.
Yeah.
We were teammates that year with Billy Lyles on the 500. Mike rode the 250, but we were like not in a good place. I mean, we really never were, but we had to be teammates that year, riding the same car. You're in the same meetings, you're same, all that kind of working, hoisting the trophy together, but yet
Talk about game facing.
Yeah, you know what I
right.
mean? I mean, and in '96 when I won the 250 Pro Motocross, which is a 450 now for all the young kids watching, a week. McGrath and I go head-to-head on that. A week later, we're teammates on Team USA at Motocross Nation.
Where was 96?
Spain?
Jerez.
Oh, yes. The
Jerez.
big triple step down.
Quad.
It was
Quad.
It was
Quad.
Jerez.
Jerez.
This is Jerez. Yeah, no, I
Welcome
actually got to
to
ride that
Spain.
track when I first moved to Europe. We were training down there, and I was adamant on hitting that thing.
Did you hit it?
I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger than they anticipated. I think that was still the era when the Americans were just so head and shoulders above the Europeans on the jumping level.
Yeah.
I think it's closed up dramatically.
Yeah.
But I saw that. I'm like, this is just as sketchy as the jumps we have in South
Well, the-
Africa.
well, the-
I'm going to go for it.
Well, the picture I have on my KX500, the
Looks
one time
sick.
that I got to ride, it makes it look amazing. I'm like, that's one of my 2 Motocross of Nations pictures that seem to pop up at this time every year. I mean, I would jump the 500. I would just upshift and like idle off it, right? Where Langston and McGrath were just
Everything, yeah.
and they didn't get the photo. I got this photo that makes it look like it's crazy because this guy's down here. But on Saturday practice, one of the European guys on like a Husky 500 4-stroke or something cased it and broke the bike.
Yeah.
So it had all this, like, on race day weekend, it was a lot of, like, oh, man, this
Drama
jump.
around it.
And it was blind. Like, you'd come,
Yeah.
and then it was, like, this blind takeoff, and you just jump down. So it was like a downhill quad. It was sketchy.
I know you guys you're not really privy to what's going on week to week or day to day on the weekends these last handful of years, but it seemed like back in your day when you were going, that the American team would come together. You guys were sharing information, talking about lines, acting as a team. And you guys all kind of pitted together, right? If I remember this right.
Yeah,
No matter
it's always
what,
kind of been the thing
no matter
to
what
try
bike
to put
you're
together,
on.
yeah.
But in recent years, it's gone to be where, like, if you're on a KTM, you're in a
there,
KTM
yeah.
truck.
Yamaha
and
guys are
Yamaha,
there,
yeah. And so it's kind of broken up the team dynamic, which from an outsider's perspective, it seems like it's had an effect on the results. Like,
Where you're an individual in the race instead of part of a
Yeah.
team, for sure.
do you feel like the same thing? I mean,
I do.
'cause I'm like,
I noticed that,
I
too.
know the GP riders have gotten better. I think them being able to watch, social media and YouTube, they can study and watch riders over here and how we were, scrubbing and negotiating jumps, and they brought that to the GPs. And
we were scrubbing.
you want me to say you guys? Sorry.
The guys over here.
He's French all of a sudden. We.
Dude, I go over and jump. Like, the only thing that my butt is out. That's the only thing. The bike doesn't even.
It was the
bike's not
collective
even-
we. It meant like Americans.
Okay.
So that, like you can watch a GP rider and a US rider now, and it's like you can't even tell who's who if
Yeah.
it was in,
No, I agree.
So they've closed the gap for sure, and maybe even gotten better in places.
But there is so in the mid 2010s, I would go do the broadcast with Malin and Lisa and everybody. And, that time period, like Italy, was it 2013, 2015, France, Team France, when they won 4 in a row, I think it was. They were locked in together. You could tell there was a
Cohesive
bond that they had. And I think that's what you're talking about might be missing now with Team USA. I'm
It's
not
a
on
component
the inside.
to it.
Yeah,
For
it
sure.
should be a component where you put the other races aside and you work together as a team and all this sort of stuff. It's not always easy to do, but certainly it makes it. There's just like you're riding for someone other than yourself.
It's something bigger than you.
Yeah.
I remember seeing photos of RJ and Wardy, and this was back when they, that was the
fire
rivalry.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I, as a Wardy fan, at the time I hated Ricky because he was, that was the nemesis.
Was that because Wardy wasn't one of the taller riders?
Yes.
You found like
I
a
was
common
short.
bond?
I was on a Kawasaki at the
Midgets
time.
stick together.
That's
bro.
right. Small lives matter. So, but I remember seeing them like hugging and, they're broing down at the race. And I'm like, what's going on here? And, as you get older, you go, okay, that's what was going on. They were racing for America.
Yeah, because all you know is like the magazine is like, oh, I hate this guy and I hate this guy. And
Cycle News.
Now they're like doing events together and
they have a podcast.
I'm doing the McGrath Whole Shot Challenge. We've got a documentary that we're working on. We're co-producing. Yeah.
What are you going to be, LaRocco's best man at his wedding next? Where are we going?
Yeah. Where are we going with this? Right.
Well, anyway, I just wonder what you guys thought, like. Because we've not sent our best team a lot in recent years. We've not really done that well. Let's say the last decade. I feel like we're missing something. And what is it? I just want to get your
Apparently
thoughts
Carmichael.
We're missing Ricky. Yeah.
Because when he was there, they pretty much won. So, because you knew he was going to go 1-1.
So, I've talked about this many times before. So, we being Americans.
Oh, are you French now?
No, we.
Oh.
No, there's just we, not we. So America spends 8 months of the year racing Supercross, even if it's SMX for the last month.
And testing in the off season.
So and there's so much emphasis put on that, and there's 4 months out of the year is motocross. The GP riders ride motocross of every type of track
and
that there is. Everywhere they are 100% motocross. So, they should be better at motocross, and that's what this is Motocross of Nations. I was in Italy, had a little too much wine, talking to some of the bosses of Ustream at the time, and my mouth started going off I said, well, okay, the Americans aren't the best team, which they almost won that day. Right, they almost won that weekend. But it's like, why don't we have the Supercross of Nations and let's see how this fucking thing goes? You know what I mean?
There would be 3 or 4 riders left on the track.
My point was, other than having too much vino and being too much of a smartass, the point is that I still believe that the fact that American riders that race in America, I should say, they're so focused on Supercross 8 months out of the year. And even SMX, you're not out riding motocross tracks. You're probably still maybe a hybrid at best, but you're riding Supercross.
Yeah.
Right? That's 8 months. And so 4 months is focused on the Pro Motocross Championship. So when it comes to it, they should be better.
I agree. I will say this to counter that you're 100% right. But we're racing, as America, huge country, if you're looking, square miles. Yeah. We're racing against countries that are the size of
Luxembourg,
the size of New Jersey.
Belgium.
We have such a huge pool to draw from. It's actually impressive that Belgium, any of them,
correct,
can even compete with us. Let
Australia is huge, though.
Yeah, well, the whole middle of it is just snakes and
there's like 4,000 or 4 million people.
Yeah, but so is Africa. But
yeah,
you're not going to see an African nation win the nations. There's something else I think to be said too that I've just felt that's happened in the last 10, 15 years. When you look at GPs, every year, I know they're going more back to the popular places so they know they get a big crowd and good turnout. Mm-hmm. But, at least when I was there prior and after I left, every year there'd be a French GP, an Italian GP, but it went to a different track. And you went to different continents. And so one thing about GPs, between the weather, the track conditions, the different tracks in different countries, the different promoters prepping the track, there was a smorgasbord of tracks. In America, we've gone to one-day event. Mm-hmm. They don't get that rough. And if it does get a little rough, I see them out there grooming it. I'm like, really? This is
Dude,
pro
I'm
motocross.
54. It gets rough. Like, I don't want to go out there.
Yeah, you at 54. But if you're in but look at some of the outdoors. They groom a lot of the track. It's one day, and they go to the same 11 tracks over and they're prepped by pretty much the same people or under the same
and they ride the same
pretense.
test facilities, right? Or wherever their training facility is, they spend a lot of time on that. So
my
now
point
that's
is
12
the Europeans
tracks. That's 12 tracks that they practice.
They're more diversified as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I was there, there was a GP in Brazil. They had Indonesia. You know, the 250s went to Japan. Like, and everywhere you go,
different dirt,
different way they water
prep.
the track.
Yeah.
Some had sprinklers. Some flooded them. I mean, he raced. I remember Belgium in '97.
Jesus,
I thought it rained.
Why you got to keep talking about all the?
I remember thinking it rained the night before. I just landed in Europe right after that event. And come to find out, and he'll back it up. No, they just flooded the track.
It was hard like clay, and there were some sketchy sections on the track, but it was really hard packed, like a little bit of rock, like off camber. We come out for warm up on Sunday morning, dude, and it was like
was this for the designations? Or
yeah,
what?
yeah.
But I had heard
We smoked everybody.
Just
Langston, Dowd, and myself. Yeah, we were good. And then the next day,
did
it
you
was
hear?
just
I heard the rumor that they intentionally did that because they thought it would affect
There you go.
guys.
Shell game.
And the Belgians
They
would
were-
have a
they were
better
moving.
advantage.
Yeah,
I get it. I mean,
and they did, right? Did they win the year? Belgium won.
Belgium won.
In '97.
Yeah.
I would say too, this is something else, and then we can move on from all this chatter. But like, think back to '90s, '80s, '90s. There were no prepped practice tracks during the week. If you rode during the
No.
week, which you did, it was at Central or it was out in the hills at some beat up, hammered
Or
place,
some high
Railroad
desert,
Canyon. Yeah,
Crappy.
You
Yeah,
were
got
riding
the Yucca Valley or something. Yeah.
And now look at what, like, if you follow any of the GP guys, look at where they're practicing during the week. It's not prepped. It's a beat up, dry piece of crap track, right?
Yeah.
And so they're getting that. You have to have throttle control. You
Oh,
have to. You
a
really learn.
majority of our tracks you could throw out probably Washougal, but a majority of the pro motocross tracks are prepped almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
The obstacles and the way the speed of it, all that is it's in the middle where you don't have any blue groove tracks. We don't have any serious sand tracks like you can call Southwick sand or Millville's got some sand section. You obviously haven't been to Lommel or what's
Layer
it?
up.
Like,
There's a few
dude,
of
the
them.
sand whoops, you'd get lost in there.
Yeah.
Even on your motorcycle.
Is
you
that
would,
a short joke?
You would disappear.
What are you saying?
So basically, if you did the Dutch Championship, you would have to have a
They
whip.
don't.
a
They
whip.
wouldn't let it. They don't even
You'd
let
have to have a
people walk
whip.
the track. Yeah, exactly.
That's a safety hazard. We won't even be able to see.
with the LED light on the top, so we know when Pink
Lommel
disappears.
is the black sand or no?
No, well, I mean, I wouldn't call it black
What's
sand.
the two tracks I'm thinking of there in Belgium? They're just one is like black sand, and then the other one is where Motocross of Nations was in 2013-ish. Barsha Road or at Dungey, those guys.
that was
Baggett.
Lommel.
Okay, so what's
think
the
of
other
the
track
guys.
I'm thinking of? It's on tip of my tongue, but anyway. Yeah,
I know there are
mean, it's
some black sand tracks,
legit.
but I'm trying
I
to
mean,
think which
it's
one it could be.
it's crazy sand, and my point is that like we don't have like Carlsbad hard pack,
Yeah, I know.
and we don't have the crazy deep sand that's that sand whoops you get lost in. Pro motocross is kind of in here.
Yeah.
So now you've already said, okay, so we only have 11 races. The riders ride at their training facilities, Dog Pound, the Star Racing Compound, a la whatever, right? So the variation, like Grant's point is, okay, so now they're riding 13 different tracks in 4 months. Where
can
these
ride-
guys are riding,
You
how
can ride
many
13 tracks
GPs
in
is there?
Belgium.
20
Yeah,
GPs?
close to it. Yeah.
18
Plus where they're riding during the week in different
and
places. Yeah.
okay, and then it may be someplace in Thailand that's hard clay, and then you got a sand track over here. You've got something with some hills, right? So my point is that the Grand Prix riders should be better at this event. Now, Team USA, here's the event, here's the rules. They agree to it. Okay, so. That's the game. We agree to play the game. So there's really no excuses that way. But us being analysts and talking about this, the Europeans should be better. My honest feeling is that Team USA performs better than they should with the exposure to riding motocross than what they should even. So I think that speaks volumes about the talent of the riders. And I shouldn't just say Team USA. I should say the AMA riders, the riders that race in America, because we've got, spread out between France and Australia and everywhere else, right? So. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is when you look at the first time they came to Redbud, and I was there. That was a weekend. It kind of never stopped raining.
Oh,
but
yeah.
even
I was there. I did the broadcast. It just rained all week.
But even the track, the prep, they brought in a bunch of sand. Like, they did everything to give it the Euro twist, and then the Mother Nature came in. So, not saying like they were trying to
well, the promoters go in too early and work with the
but it's their guidelines.
It's their event.
It's not like AMA where you feel like even though it's different tracks, they'll put a roller on the inside to make it even. And then you start seeing almost every track will have a roller on the inside to try to create different lines, or they'll slope some jumps, or they go, hey, someone had a big crash here. We're going to take these out. It becomes very unified. Yeah. Whereas over there, you go to one track and takeoffs like this. You go to and the landings like this. You go to the next race, the takeoffs like this, and the landings like this. So there's less of the kind of cookie cutter.
And I sometimes same thing you're talking about. All of our tracks are prepped the same. It seems like just.
There's a certain sort of
boilerplate.
There's a certain blueprint of what they want to do. There's a triple step up tabletop here. There's a roller section, and I'm not saying that the GPs don't do a little bit of that, but the fact that the American riders ride very little super hard pack. I mean, Washougal would have to be the only one that gets like that's you're not going to use a scoop tire, and except for the start. And then you got these gnarly sand tracks on this sand. So the American tracks are kind of in the middle. There's a little bit of variation, but the GP riders ride
wide. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And I will say this.
And weather conditions. I mean, you think about Europe. I mean, most of Europe's frozen half the year. And then when it does warm up, it's kind of like the Northeast over here. It can be hot and humid and thunder clouds and heavy rain and you get everything. Like I remember even the year when I won the World Championship, we had so many mud races, and some of it was just it rained and rained and rained, and other ones where we were somewhere and it was baking hot, and then those thunderstorms rolled in, and everything changed midday.
And and then the last element about the event here is the schedule is much more duplicated to what GPs would have. Like Grant mentioned that in America, it's a one-day format, right?
And it's through the summer. Like in Europe, they start the series in winter, or barely spring. Like they're starting spring. So it could be cold and like defrosting. You go through summer, and then they finish their season at the beginning of fall as well. So depending where you are, the weather conditions can really vary.
Yeah, and by this time of year, it's usually cooled off a bit over here. I think it's about 87 this weekend.
It's going to be super nice.
Super nice.
It might be a little cold for the Jeremy McGrath whole shot challenge, and I've kind of factored that in.
You bring
my ECU setting and stuff, but
bringing your little tidy whities.
Set my tire pressure.
But I mean, if you brought this, if this race happened in August and it's 100 degrees,
it could be anything.
That's a different story then. Then we're talking the Euros will die.
90 degrees Fahrenheit for the European riders is warm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've ever gone on a European vacation, gone to Italy in the middle of summer. Like they don't.
Yeah, it's nice. They're like, it's a baking day out here. And I'm like,
hot.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I will say this, one devil's advocate on our tracks being all the way they are, is that from a spectator's perspective, it's so much better than it used to be. It used to be dust. You'd always have dust. Remember, like think of Red Bud in the 90s or Sacramento.
Yeah.
It was kind of miserable to go watch.
You want to watch a dusty race? I just revisited it like a few weeks ago. Unadilla 93.
Oh. Dobb won.
Dobb won the overall. I won one of the motos, whatever. Like
I gotta find that.
The guy,
dudes are blowing.
Whoever got the whole shot. Was that the race where you got clipped and went down, or no?
That was 94.
94. So like the guy with the whole shot was clear, and then there was just it looked like a flock of ducks with just dust that would just fan out.
What happened? Why was it so dusty? Just hot.
Well, that was one of the first years that they ran amateurs on like Friday or Saturday, whatever.
So they got rid of all the grass and
there was no grass. It was only rocks and water and dust. Yeah.
Like multiple bikes blew up, right from dust, sucking dirt. It was that dusty. It was bad.
Must have been very fine.
Yeah, but you don't. So dust is the big enemy now. Like mud is fine, where you got to go through 30 tear-offs or 100 pulls on a roll-off.
But at least the cameraman can see you. That's all they care about.
You can't see any of the
sponsors. You can't see the
on
cameraman, but he can see you.
Yeah. So.
Well, let's shift to this weekend. I would have to say Australia. I don't think anyone's going to argue this. They're the favorite going in. Heavy.
Heavy.
On paper, Yeah.
On paper, and you've mentioned like anything can happen. All it takes is, a first turn crash.
Kyle Webster was on the team last year, right?
Yeah.
So
He's
they're
solid.
bringing
Yeah.
Hunter Lawrence, Jet Lawrence, and Kyle Webster back. What a great experience that had to be for them,
Oh yeah.
Winning for the first time, Hunter and Jet being brothers, Kyle being a guy that races in Australia on the team, right? Hunter and Jet obviously ride here in America.
Well, he's riding GPs, Webster.
Oh, GP's right.
Yeah, but Honda. So like it's actually a pretty cool dynamic between the three of them.
Yeah.
But he is
Michael Byrne is the team manager.
Oh, is he?
Right.
He wasn't. He was last year.
Yeah.
I assume he would be.
I'm assuming he is. So
Works
that's
at the
why,
dog pound. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So a big accomplishment, and until you've been in the race and until you've experienced what the race is about, Grant has. He didn't get to hoist the Chamberlain Trophy.
Not even close.
You got a fifth, right? Wasn't that your best?
But I'm telling you,
team best. Yeah.
Yes, top 5. So it's God. I wish I could put it in the words. I just didn't study enough in English to be able to, really explain what it's like. I had the honor my first time in Australia. We won the championship. We won the Motocross of Nations, and you hoist the Chamberlain Trophy. You got your hat over your heart, and they play the national anthem. It's like, dude, that's why you do it. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Look at that.
Well, also you were young then, and now
21.
Had you ever been to Australia before?
No.
So now you're in a whole new part of the world. Where was I forget.
Manjimup.
That's not where they had the GP, was it?
No, Manjimup's over in Perth, south of Perth.
Okay. So, yeah, Western Australia. I mean,
no, I was a million miles from home.
Yeah, and now, like you said, you get there, you don't really know what to expect. All this goes down, and you stand in it, and it's kind of like, shit,
But
did it.
Yeah, but the thing with Team Australia this year, they've been there, done that. And once you win a race, you're kind of climbing the steps, and once you do it, okay, now we know how to do this. It's not like, I wonder if we can do this. No, now you've already done it. So I think Australia should be coming in with a tremendous amount of confidence.
But now they have the pressure. Like you said, riding for the U.S. it was tough because there was a period, if you guys didn't win, it was a failure.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
that's a lot of pressure. Now, think about Australia. They've flown under the radar. And then a couple of years ago, people were like, hey, this team is becoming quite the, ones to watch. Now they've got the monkey off the back because they finished second, then they won. Now their fans, their people, the Lawrences, all of them, it's like if we don't win, we're going to be bummed. Because they're going there to win.
I would bet there's quite a few Australian fans coming to watch. If I was an Australian motocross fan and I could make it happen,
this is the heyday for them.
I'd get over for it.
So when I look at the list here, Pingree's amazing handwritten list, and it's always great to handwrite it because then you remember it more. To me, Australia is the team to beat. So I think that's appropriate that we talked about them right off the top when we talk about the teams. I think that they're the team to beat.
Yeah. My question that I want to start with is, even with the guys we were going to send, Eli, Chase, and Deegan, I think we're still underdogs. Because I think Deegan wins the 250.
It's a bold
but
statement.
I think Jet wins the 450, and then it comes down to Chase versus Hunter, Eli versus Hunter, and I mean that's a wash.
Well,
dude.
I mean what we've seen, it's like Hunter is just a click off of Jet, and I think that he's underrated for what he does. He doesn't crash a lot. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He would be.
Do you know what he is? He is the Jeff Emig to his brother's Jeremy McGrath. That's what he is. God,
really?
Somebody said
only an hour into the show, you're going there.
The alcohol's kicking in.
It's the limoncello. No, but like someone said this to me, and I didn't really even think about it. If Jeremy McGrath didn't exist, you're the winningest rider of all time. Wow. You have like some crazy number of seconds, right? I don't even pretend.
Yeah, I'm good here.
Yeah, gotta go. Come out. Yeah. No, look at the time.
Let me text my therapist real quick.
Book an appointment first thing in the morning.
No, but there is it's different because I was racing a guy that wasn't my brother.
Totally different. It's the weirdest dynamic.
And I think that I just did a podcast with somebody, and they were asking me about Hunter and Jet. Or maybe it was Gypsy or whatever. But it's like, if Jet wasn't his brother, Hunter would have beat him more, I think. I think Hunter is good enough, but the fact that they have this, which is super special and wonderful all in itself, but it's really hard to hate him. Maybe secretly, he goes home from the test track. God damn it. He goes home from the SMX. I was 1 point off. God damn it. But the drive that comes from the competition, where it's like, hey, whether it was McGrath or LaRocque or whoever I was racing, right? It's you're separated from that. They're brothers, and they have what it appears to be a really good relationship.
Yeah.
It would be easier for him to hate him, and they go, okay, I'm going after this.
Dig in a little harder when he needed to. I agree.
Yeah.
We caught something which his camp gets upset when we show the clips of them right as they pull off, but we caught something at Vegas after the second moto, and obviously Hunter was
the final. Yeah, final.
Wanted to win, was in position, and Jet passed Eli for second, which gave him the title, right? And so after the race, Jet's sitting there kind of wiping off. He's right next to his brother, and Hunter's got his hands in his head. He's gutted, like he was so close, right? And Jet just got it done. He even beat his brother, but still didn't get it, right?
And it's the little brother.
And you see Jet
that makes
the dynamic of
it's
sibling rivalry.
Bro, this is never
at least in MotoGP. It's older brother Mark beating younger brother Alex, but when the younger brother is beating the older brother.
It's a
to
dynamic.
Me, that's another little level of
We've never seen anything like this in our sport for sure.
And they're at such a high level.
Maybe you could compare the Marquez brothers, but I don't know if they're as close as these two are.
This year's been the closest, but it's always been Mark, Alex.
So Jet is kind of like, he's not celebrating. It's the only podium I've ever seen, by the way, where none of the three guys on the podium were happy. Hunter was disappointed he didn't get it done. Jet's sad because his brother's sad, and Eli got third, so he's not really psyched. I've never seen a more disappointed podium.
Yeah, somebody just won $1 million.
I was about to say there was about $2 million paid out between the three of them that night.
But so we caught this moment where Jet's sitting there wiping off, and Hunter's got his hand in his face, it faces in his hands, whatever, and Jet looks over and he sees his brother just dejected. You can tell he's not even happy. Jet isn't, and he kind of pats him on the back and just sort of comforts
crazy
him, right?
Dynamics of it all, right?
It was the most human moment I've seen in our sport in a long time.
Yeah,
he genuinely was heartbroken.
Well, so the great thing, and why I would put Australia, they are the reigning champions of the Motocross of Nations, but I still put them at the top because now their results work together, right? It's not okay, I'm first, you're second. It's maybe that's way in the motos, but we won this, right?
Yeah.
So
the other thing that I think helps him, which doesn't get talked about a whole lot, you've experienced it, but when you go, like if you're an American, you go to Europe. Typically you're riding like a Rinaldi bike if you're on Yamaha. You're getting a borrowed bike. They're going to be out of their rig, on their bikes, with their personnel, their locker, their teammate that they're familiar with. And he's also on Honda, right?
Yeah.
So, it's like a dream scenario. Yeah. But it doesn't mean it's always going to work out. But they have everything in place. They've done it. The monkey's off the back. They've got the team.
Yeah.
It's the same team. They're number 1 and 2 and 3 on the bikes. There's so many things that just make you go, it's going to take something like a first turn pileup or some bad, like to me, it's going to take something or someone else to put them in a vulnerable place because they've got everything they need. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if you're looking at it right now, you're like, yep, on paper, if we just execute, this is a done deal.
Yeah, Eli, if you're looking at America, our team.
So now are we flipping the page to?
Well, Eli, RJ, and Cooper.
4, 5, 6.
Justin Cooper could go win that 250 class. We haven't seen him ride a 250. He's a bit of a question mark.
So
he was always fast on that.
Remind me of the scoring this year. Your position on the track is your result.
Yes. So
right?
if you get first in your class, but you're 7th, you get 7 points.
So the great thing that I like about Justin Cooper being on the Star Yamaha, obviously he's a star rider. Okay. He is great at starts. And you start up front, you keep yourself out of all the problems because you got to remember, some of the teams that might have just got into the final, there are some of these guys that aren't as skilled as the top riders. And it's the nations, and you've got 250s and 450s and 2 of the motos, right? And there's all that. And Cooper is so good at starts, and he's really consistently good that, to me, that was the absolute best choice that you could make as the backup for Deegan.
No, I agree. And he's actually ridden very well at the nations in the past.
Yeah.
Like, there were times I'm like, did they make the right decision? And then I thought, like, he stepped up. He reminds me a little bit of Gautier Paulin. Didn't win too many GPs that year, but come to the nations and France, it was like he was the man. Like,
as I know Justin Cooper, he's a very level,
even keel. Yeah.
Even keel. He does not a lot of like this, all that. And what we've seen out of Deegan, which to me was almost a liability, as good as he's been in his professional career, he at times is a liability. I mean, he proved that at the SMX final with his riding behavior that, it's like he wasn't, the big picture wasn't in mind. Because this event, to me,
get the best
this event was bigger than him trying to win the SMX championship in that class for that event. And you got to think Yamaha and Monster Energy and the team have to be really pissed that he's not ready to go for this weekend, because this race this weekend is going to be massive.
Yeah.
And as much
especially
as Monster Energy
and
Yamaha
he's also missed the nations the last couple of years.
Yeah, so this was a huge opportunity for him to be on the world stage, to race against other riders, and he took himself out of it last week with the riding that he did. So huge miss. Team USA is really lucky that they have Justin Cooper that can step in.
How do you think, if you're just looking at results, RJ Hampshire did not beat Jet or Hunter this summer at all. But he's going to have to beat one of them, right? Like, it's good. Even if Cooper wins the 250 and Jet wins the 450 or whatever, or MXoN, whatever they're calling it, RJ's got to step up then and beat him at least one moto.
The real positive, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because you're brutally honest at times, and I love it. RJ could not keep his 250 on 2 wheels.
Yeah.
The 450, he's been much more successful.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. And so if he can do that and not, he slides the bike out a lot. He falls a lot. He's just, the 450 seems to have almost like he has to respect it a little more, and he's been better that way. You cannot fall down in a Motocross of Nations event.
I told him that he is like ADHD and that 450 is Ritalin. Yeah. It's just straighten him out.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
not a whiskey throttle terminology. I don't know what it is.
I don't know if that offended him, but I'm like,
but it's true though. Yeah. When I knew he was moving up, I still thought, oof,
he's gonna die.
It's gonna get worse. Yeah. It's gonna amplify it, right?
But like
he's been much
it's
better.
Almost like he didn't respect the 250 and then said, "Listen, bitch, I'll put you on the ground." The 450, and maybe it's just the inertia and the weight. Like you said, he used to almost have this technique of pushing the bike into things, and then either wash out or slide the rear.
Yeah, like he would enter a turn on the inside and slide down into it instead of maybe like.
Whereas the 450, maybe the weight and the inertia, it pushes you kind of earlier into some of those lines, and it seems to be like it's helped. Like his little weakness has been minimized by the 450.
Also the bike's fast as shit if you've just got on it, so you don't feel like you have to carry so much corner speed.
Like chill out.
Almost like he overrode the 250 and he rides a 450
that's
just
what I was
right.
Looking for, right
and
there.
and
that's
and,
what I was
and,
looking
and, and you guys will back me up in this one. More often than not, it goes the other way around. A good 250 ride, there's been many of them. Then they go to 125 back in the day to 250. There were guys that moved up, and you're like, oh yeah, he's going to do well. And then you're like, what happened? They just couldn't adjust. And with him, I got to be honest, I thought it was going to be a little bit of the same. I thought RJ would have a year of just crashing his brains out, and then he'd just be a distant memory. So he's impressed me in the sense that he's elevated his game going to 450s, and he's definitely one of the very few that rides a bigger bike better than a smaller bike. Usually there's more riders that can ride the smaller bike, fewer guys that can really win at that elite level. So
one thing I love about him for this event in general, but this event I think will pay off, That dude does not give up. Like, he is 100% to the flag.
Yeah.
So if there's someone in front of him, even
Yeah.
late in the moto, he's going after him. You know what I mean? He's not going to settle and just.
Yeah, he definitely has that ability to dig deep late in the motos. The only thing that I'm saying is you can't fall down.
Yeah. That's the one thing I still do worry a little bit about him is he's going to be very jacked up on emotions and excited to have this opportunity. Hopefully he doesn't get the best of him where he goes over the limit.
So then that leaves the final member, the senior member of Team USA, being Eli Tomac.
Eli has been, I got to be honest, when it comes to the nations, he's been a little hit and miss. Like, he's had some good rides, but he's also had some where I'm like, you're better than that.
Yeah, I just think, just watching all year, like, he is going as fast as you can go with his technique and style. And what the Lawrence brothers are doing is another level of perfect technique, which just allows them to go faster, not ride on the edge as much. Eli's got, like, kind of that old school
bulldog,
Larocco kind of hammer-ass technique, and it's radical to watch. I love it.
Stronger than everyone, and just bulldoze through everything.
I just don't think he can go any faster. I hope he proves me wrong. Obviously, I'd love to see America win, and maybe just through consistency and determination they can get there. Certainly not writing us off, but I think we're definitely like the underdog, right? So
definitely, but I wouldn't say like, oh, it's a big deficit. Like to me, I would not be at all surprised if America wins. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to just go through real quick. We've been going for a while here, but I want to just kind of touch on some of the other teams that I think will be competitive. I think you got to start with Belgium. Both
start with
brothers.
Belgium, not France.
Well, so France has Fevre, obviously the world champ, and Renault, certainly capable of winning.
Solid.
But they have Vallin. I don't know much about him. I feel like he's kind of their weak link. And he might surprise me.
He's going to have to step up. Otherwise, like you said, he may hold that team
from
Ping,
a victory. So here's where it goes. Okay. So we got Renault and Fevre, and it's like Vallin. We need one fucking moto.
I know. Yeah,
we need it's 5 scores. Yeah,
get and these days on a 250, like if it's a top 10, you get us a top 10.
But I think Maxime Renault is riding the 250. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
If I understood it right, maybe I've got it wrong.
Okay, possibly.
He's in the MX1 or 2.
Either way, the point is, we need one good moto, and our established team riders. Fevre.
No, Renault's open.
Say it again.
Renault's open.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Renault is open.
So it is Vallin in the MX2.
Yeah. So we need one moto out of you.
Yeah.
They're certainly competitive. That's why I got them on here. They're a threat to win this.
Fevre, the way that he's been riding, which is so. I mean, him winning the world championship 10 years after he won the first one, after he had like a supermoto career, right? He wasn't even like a motocross racer. Like, he's a really great story. And having the confidence that he has right now coming off of the world title, it was a pretty good party on Sunday night.
Oh, I bet.
But hopefully he's in good shape now. And I got to think that that France to me would be one of the favorites. You want to put Belgium
I still
third.
I think there's three other teams outside of US and Australia that have a really good shot at this. The other one is Belgium with both Koonin brothers and Everts.
They're all fast, but a little unpredictable at times. If they put it together, they can win. There's no doubt about it.
It's a maybe, but we'll see. And then Netherlands, Koldenhoff, De Wolf, and Vlaanderen. That's a good team.
I think they're flying under the radar because there's no hurlings, but that team
solid.
Those guys could finish second and third in their class, but win the whole thing just through consistency.
Yeah.
Hey, when we did nations in the Netherlands at that at the road race track, Koldenhoff was unbelievable. He's a guy.
He steps up at the Disnation.
He steps up at the Nations.
He's done it a few times.
The King of Netherlands was there that day. Like, it was some of the worst, like, crazy, weird mud I'd ever seen in my life. And Koldenhoff, he's just unfazed by the grandness of the event. And he's been there so many. I'm going to say that he's ridden 10 times.
He's done a lot.
Right?
You're probably right.
He's not going to be fazed by that. And he, once again, even at the age that he is, he's a veteran, but he's in a good place.
If someone said to me, who's someone flying under the radar that you think could win, I think the Netherlands.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised to see them top step. And I know they did it in Assen, and I mean, I lived in Holland, and I'll tell you, I rode on some of the nastiest tracks I've ever been on in my life anywhere are in Holland.
In Holland.
What's
the name of that other sand
track?
track?
Like Fro said, you can't even see Pingrees between the rollers. Like, they disappear. I could, even when you used to have your little spikes,
it still wouldn't
have touched
the bleached
them.
out. Like you might have just seen like
be like trimming the grouse,
like Bart Simpson's walking the track.
Yes, that's it.
Why am I friends with you guys?
We were wondering the
You're
same
not.
thing.
We're just coworkers.
Okay, good.
I'm only here for the paycheck.
What's the other track over there? Lyrup, and what's the other one?
In Holland?
There's another famous track.
It is. I've been there. I've actually been to the track, and I can't remember.
Ever since
I've probably raced there.
I know you both have.
Yeah.
It's the main track that guys ride all winter over there.
Oh, not
Valkenswaard.
No, but they don't ride there very often. But Valkenswaard is actually the least deep sand track that is known.
Oh.
I mean, it's still sandy, but believe me, when you start heading north and central Holland, there are some horrible tracks. Like, I just remember, who in their right fucking mind would do this for fun?
Well, dude, it's funny. When the Lawrences were on the Whiskey Throttle show, and they were talking about when they first came over, they went straight to that one of those sand tracks. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't know which one. It's freezing cold, like literally just above freezing, 38 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
Oh, so a nice day. Yeah.
And Hunter said he crashed 5 times the first lap. He went out. Jet's got his hands on the muffler of the bike, crying because his hands are numb. He's cold.
I remember. Nose is numb. Like, you can't smile because your cheeks are frozen. Your hands are numb.
Yeah.
My first Belgium championship in '98. First moto, I fell 5 times. Second moto, I fell 6 times. And right before the finish line, I'm like going through these rollers.
So it was a sort of a normal day.
Yes. I'm literally a hazard. And I remember thinking, man, my Cowie's got no power. And Ramon was my teammate. And him and, was it Cedric Malot? I'm trying to remember. It was a French-Belgium. They split me because I was such a hazard. They just went opposite ends of the track, blew by me right before the finish line, and I got lapped for a second time. Now I got to go to the pits, and it's like, how was it? I'm like, well, if I could find 2 laps worth of speed, I was right in it. Yeah. I remember I was so demoralized. We were looking at the lap times, and my dad's like, yeah, on that last lap, you were only about 20 seconds off your teammate.
That's insane.
You're 4 minutes and 20 seconds off.
And I'm thinking, how, sometimes you go, how do I find 3/4 of a second? And you're like, if I did this and did that. And then you're looking at the timing, and you're like,
20 seconds.
I don't know. I think we should just quit and go home. Like, we're screwed.
Yeah, sand has.
But it was muddy sand,
to do that. Yeah.
Muddy, like deep mud sand. Oh, brutal.
So let's move on here. Germany is Roxen Langenfelder and Max Spies.
Again, Spies, I think, is the weak link in that. There's each team, and again, these are smaller countries. To find 3 elite level guys is tough.
I'm also going to go back to Frozen.
I'm supporting
one
Team
moto.
No, I know
one moto.
I know you're drinking out of the German mug, so they.
That's what makes this event fun.
Totally.
We can sit here and speculate all day long, and there's literally 10 teams that can win this, if not more.
Dude, no.
He says no.
Chance.
I say
Germany can
there
win.
There are 3 teams that can win.
France can win. Belgium can win. Holland can win. America can win. Australia can win. Dude, even I think I wouldn't.
It gets to be long shots.
I'm going 4. What did you say? 5 teams that can win?
I originally said 10.
He said
shut
10.
me down.
That was
10 teams. You're like,
I'll reel it back in.
that was the count one.
You guys haven't even mentioned South Africa.
They're on there.
Are they racing this year?
On the bottom.
They hope to be racing.
They're going to pull the bones out of their nose
Slade
and come
Smith, Camden McClellan, and
McClellan's decent.
Cam Duro. It's a long way. This is a long ass
Don't be
flight.
a puss, be lucka, bros.
Don't be a puss, be lucka.
Yeah, let's go.
Slovenia, too much of a long shot. Obviously, they got guys. So
How many teams do we have entered this year, by the way? It should be upwards of 35.
Switzerland's a team that
I'm not saying
I think could win, but if they have a good weekend,
Siebergio
they could be on the
and
podium.
Nick Grootman. Groupman.
Hold on.
I mean, Seawer and Gio have ridden 10 nations probably themselves, right?
Yeah.
So
38.
both really good dudes. I don't know Nico Groupman, but
38 teams entered. Honduras, Asia, Costa Rica, Mexico, Ukraine. What?
Jamaica have a team?
Let's see.
They have a
Ecuador,
bobsled team.
Israel, Morocco, Uruguay.
Hey, if you're watching, Pingree he's got his camera on because he printed out the
zoom it
team list, and it's so the letters are so small. I'm like, Grant and I are like, Grant, you want to read that list?
Hey, what about Japan? I do want to give a little shout out to our 250 SMX world champion who's going to be on the 450. I'm excited to see how he goes. And he admitted, like, look, we're just trying to make the A main.
Yeah.
But at least him in that class, I want to see how he does on that 450. It looks like he's loving it.
Well, and that's the difference is when it comes to the competition is that Joe Shimoda is who you're talking about. Joe Shimoda doesn't have the pressure of other than making the A main. Let's say they make the A main, okay, top 20. He's got the sort of the freedom to go out and just ride his race almost for himself, right?
Totally, yeah.
And whereas if you're on USA, Australia, France, Belgium, Holland, like you ride differently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because there's, especially Australia having that are the reigning champions of this event. Like USA's got pressure because it's a home race. Australia has pressure. They're the reigning champions. They're on paper one of the best teams. Joe Shimoda, okay, so we're a team that's hoping to make the top 20 in qualifying. Totally different mindset
I think
coming
the
into
biggest
the event.
pressure on him is on Saturday, because his one great result, if he gets a great result, because when they qualify, they do the individual classes.
Yeah.
Same thing. There's 3 classes.
Who are his teammates?
But they only take two of the 3
Let me turn my
scores.
magnifying glass on. Stand by.
You have Google Translate
Let me
going?
do 5 times amplification.
But think about it. If Joe goes out and gets a top 3 in his qualifier on Saturday, he just needs one of his teammates to get like a top 20, and they'll
they
scrape
count
in.
2 of the 3 qualifying
Yes.
races.
So it's I'm going to mess this up because I can't read it and I can't pronounce it. Okurayuki Nakajima Soya.
That was really good.
You even had the
Hi.
accent.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for Joe. Joe's one of my favorites, dude. I think he's just like the sweetest old soul. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Just as a person, you know what I mean? I asked him.
His I don't speak English.
Oh my gosh, it was
soundbite.
But I said, hey, what, Joe?
Amazing.
We had him on our Sideways podcast, and I said, what do you do? Like, if you're not riding, not training, what do you do for fun? He's like, I like latte art. Like he makes designs in the coffee.
Yeah.
Like that's his hobby. I'm like, that is so Japanese, dude. I love it.
He needs to spend more time with us.
He needs a little Kettle One.
Has he never been to Lake Havasu? Like,
Yeah, that's the problem.
Let's get this guy
You know
out
what the
there.
problem is? If you take him out there, his career's over.
I'm
That
a golden god.
Yeah.
Woo!
he's gonna be out there. It'll ruin his career. Oh, American pussy.
What do you mean?
Like he'll never come back from it. He'll never see that many fake
Joe,
titties in his
don't
face.
go to
with
Havasu
pasties.
with these guys.
Yeah, don't go to Havasu with Grant and I.
Well, listen,
Dude,
boys.
when I wanted to come to America, I used to see the videos, and I just was like, I used to think like
gotta
MC
meet
and
Jeff.
Fro and these guys. I'm like, they're so fucking cool. I want to be just like them one day.
Wait, do we got to wrap this up? Is that where you were going
we're
with
wrap
that?
up right now. Yeah, you got something else you want to say?
We still had more to go, right?
I do want to ask you. There's a lot of if you're going to the races this weekend. I'm going to be there, so if you see me, stop, say hi. I'm going to have stickers. I got stories. I'm going to tell you all about Jeff.
He's got a pocket full of pit pass wristbands. So if you see Pingree,
And VIP
don't take
passes.
no for an answer.
Yeah. He's
Tickets
messing with you.
VIP to the Monster Energy Party. Pingree's your guy.
Come find me. There's a lot of stuff going on. You said
Hey,
Fridays.
if they're gonna find you, can you wear like a little antenna or something in amongst the crowd?
It's like one of those whips you wear at Glamis.
Yes,
I'm
that's
going
right.
to just attach us.
Have it, but can you get a LED one so we can see it at night?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
they've posted on MX Sports and all that know before you go stuff. So I encourage everybody to go to Instagram about mobile tickets, parking, campgrounds, all that. Thursday there's the gates open track walk. Friday gates open. Roger DeCoster Pro Paddock Open, whatever that is, that's from 12 to 4. So it's called the Roger DeCoster Pro Paddock, which is open.
Okay.
Practice. So this is weird. They're going to do start practice on Friday. So you got to get geared up. Group 1, 2, and 3 do start practice only. So you're going to practice your starts on Friday.
They really drag it out.
You know why I think they do that is, and this is another reason, getting back to our original point of dropping one moto, is over the years we've seen, especially like when they came to Budds Creek in 07, Cairoli's bike wouldn't run. That was when Europe had different fuel.
Oh,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
still some bikes were carbureted, all that stuff. So I think that was one of the reasons they did 5 out of 6 motos, because a lot of times people, when they went to other countries, had to borrow and
here we
issues.
allow lead in the gasoline, the children's toys. It doesn't matter.
And then I think start practice, because you remember in Europe, they loved, when I was there, especially 125s, they had the jetting strip. And I remember the Italians all freaking Friday.
So
they had to change pistons by the time they were done.
Yeah. So on Friday,
that's why they do start practice.
You
make sure your bike runs
to about 3 o'clock or so. Then the real shit happens. Friday, that's when everything moves out to downtown Crawfordsville, Indiana. Have you been there?
No.
Yes.
Massive Monster Energy FIM Nucor Grand Parade. So Nucor is the sponsor of the event. They're going to have a massive parade on Friday evening in downtown Crawfordsville, like ticker tape parade, like it's supposed to be absolutely amazing. After that, there's going to be the Racer X Live, powered by Verb Moto. So it's 2 hours of stage show, interviews, the whole thing. And then, of course, what you guys would love is the Rave of Nations laser light show. So that's going to begin at 9 p.m.
That's what I was going to say.
That's Friday.
You can't not have donations without some Euro rave.
Yeah. So, and then Saturday, there's all the practice and stuff for the Blue Crew 125, 85, 65, which is going to be awesome.
That's going to be
Yamaha's putting on a huge thing.
Ben Townley's kid,
Josh
Coppin's kid.
So there's free practice,
cool.
Blue Crew. There's free practice for the Motocross of Nations, Blue Crew races. Then the qualifying races, which you don't want to miss, 2:30 to about 5 o'clock. C final qualifying, which Grant knows all about. Has done that a few times. Roger DeCoster pits are still open, and then the real competition starts. 6:30 p.m. Motocross of Nations, Jeremy McGrath, Whole Shot Challenge.
Are you going to have to wear your glasses to see the gate fall?
Yeah. No, I'll wear them inside of my goggles, yeah. Yeah.
Don't be using they fogged up as an excuse.
If you're watching this, if you happen to watch this and you're there, you don't want to miss Saturday evening before the Rave of Nations Part 2, the Whole Shot Challenge. I think there's upwards of 20 of us that are going to line up for the Whole Shot Challenge, mano a mano. There should be like
elimination
10,000 fans there.
Hold on, there's 2 nights of rave?
Probably Sunday.
The Euros are raving right now, bro. Trust me. Like,
yeah, they're
why are you
going.
limiting it?
I got to get glow sticks. There's so many things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get tall ones. So
and listen, if you guys are not going to make it, follow Whiskey Throttle Media on Instagram. We're going to be covering this thing like you're basically going to feel like you're there.
All the real inside stories.
Oh yeah.
Jeff's going to be there?
No, myself and Ethan are going to be there. So we're
Ethan.
We're going 100 miles an hour.
Is your First Nations?
Yeah. It's my first one. I've never been.
I'm gonna have to live through you guys.
I love my life.
Yeah, Ping's gonna be coming home. Hey, honey, how's it going?
Still,
how was it? It was fucking lekker. No one was a puss. Everyone was lekker.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna find the South African team and just party with them.
Team USA wins. He's gonna call his wife like 4 a.m. on Monday, like, sell all my stuff. I'm never coming home.
The good thing, Ping, if you find the South African team, they're either going to be drinking to drown their sorrows or drinking to celebrate. But either way, they'll be drinking. I have plenty of booze. Go over there and say, Langston said I better come up. You won't leave.
I'm going to find him. I promise you. So,
I will say that between the partnership with everyone that runs Motocross of Nations, MX Sports here, they really have got their shit together for this event. I think it's going to be like one for the ages. my hope is that, fingers crossed, is that the competition on Sunday, which I can't go to, I already established that, I'm going to be on my way to the airport, that the competition lives up to the event.
Yeah.
And that final moto is just like, I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about third moto at Nations because I've been a part of it. And it's like either I'm on the track or I'm done racing. I'm watching it, and you're just like, come on. And it's like it's an event like no other. It's just, it's not the same.
Because when you're the 125 guy, you have to watch the last moto, and there's nothing worse than watching your teammates going, there is nothing I can do.
So nervous.
It just makes you, it's weird, and you're standing there, and you feel nervous for them. And there's probably guys, like you said, with teammates where you're like, I don't even like this guy in real life.
All right,
but I'm rooting for him so hard right now.
Yeah, so tons of content. Whiskey Throttle is going to be there. They're going to be in the thick of it, the rave, the whole shot, the parade, everything.
Alabama.
How do people watch the races if they want to watch the races?
You have to do some research on that yourself. I'm not sure.
I think in past they used to show it live on like CBS or one of those, not CBS, ABC.
A quick Google search will get you there. You'll find it.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. Yep. AI will just probably.
MXGP.com. They'll get you all the information. Yes. Find out how you can watch it in America. I promise you don't want to watch it. Even if you're going to church and you can't make it, or your kid's got a soccer game, don't go on social media. Watch the races because it's always a really interesting event.
100%. Boys, thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Cheers for beers, sexy rears, and fuck all those queers. Peace.
Cheers. Oh, Langston Motorsports sponsors this segment. They're big enough to stock it. They're small enough to care. Jeff, anything you need to plug?
I buy stuff from Langston's myself.
Yeah.
So I love going there.
And we stock his We Big.
We Big? Okay.
Emig Pro grips.
No,
Emig Pro grips. That's all you got to stock is Emig Pros, and then we're all right.
So, yeah. Rhino Power? Do you guys have Rhino Power? No?
You know, we've tried things. The problem is at dealership, that stuff, I hate to say it, becomes counter clutter. And I told Rhino this, like, no offense, but I said to him, people don't come in for that stuff. But, like, ODI grips have been, and bars have been crushing it. The one good thing, too, is Pro Tape has been a little asleep at the wheel, and you guys have just taken all that market share.
The best.
And then the wee big stuff's cool. They have all the Modelo. I actually literally got that new kit for myself, the Marlboro, the red and white, the old Yamaha
That's
red.
what I'm going to wear in the whole shot challenge.
It is. Yeah. I'm like, I have to have it. It reminds me of
Senna.
Wayne Rainey and Ferrari F1 days.
So James Hunt.
Yeah.
So anyway, Langston's a great dealership. You guys have three lines Yamaha.
You know Mike Hunt?
This thing's off the rails. We should have stopped the edit before that. But go check out Grant's store if you are in Southern California, and some online sales. They got it all.
All right. For Fro and GL, thanks, guys. See you next time.
Thanks.